Now everyone say, thank you, Supergiant Games, for inventing hot people. Thank you, Supergiant Games. Hello, my name is Haley Whipjack. You can call me Haley, you can call me Whipjack, you can call me whatever you like, as long as you're, chill about it. And I've been playing so much Hades 2. Let me start off by explaining what is Hades, for those who don't know. Hades is a video game franchise now. The first game, called Hades, came out in 2020. It is a roguelike game, which means your character dies over and over and over and over and over and over and over again while you progress through the story, starting over and over and over and over and over and over again, starring the son of Hades and Persephone named Zagreus, as he goes about all his misadventures to try and get his mom Persephone back. Hades 2 came out just a couple weeks ago. It was in early access before that. I didn't play it in early access because I play my video games on the Nintendo Switch. And they don't really do early access for that. So I've spent the last few weeks playing Hades 2 nonstop. I've finished the game. That's not a joke. I've finished the game. Death to Kronos, he's dead. Hades 2 does not follow Zagreus, but instead his little sister Melinoe, again, child of Hades and Persephone, who was separated from her family shortly after birth by her grandfather, Hades' father, the Titan Kronos, and who has spent her entire life training to finally take Kronos down. Death to Kronos. This video is not about the story of Hades 2. That would be a very different tone of a video. I don't want to talk about it. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. The gameplay is so stunning. It is so fluid. The characters are so pretty. As my good friend Gus Rachels said, Hades 1 is the best video game of all time, and Hades 2 is even better. And I do agree with that, but once again, we're not going to talk about the story of Hades 2. That's a different video. I can't believe Supergiant Games rewrote the ending to Hades 2 for me. I can't believe they heard me talking and they said, oh, you know what? That ending was weird. No, today we're talking about all the characters, my favorite thing to do with any piece of media, and put them into tiers. I love to just rank, guys. I love to do arts and crafts and then rank, guys. Today we are tier listing every single character from the Hades franchise that has a speaking line, including one that doesn't, except for the Fates. I didn't do the Fates. They're not characters. And we will be tier listing them on how dateable I personally find them. My rankings, I will warn you, have been deemed controversial by my friends. So you're welcome to disagree with me as loudly and vehemently as you would like. I'm not going to go tier by tier with this. I'm going to go sort of category by category of characters, starting with our protagonist, starting with our first protagonist, Zagreus. Here's what I want to say about Zagreus. What's that Johnny Sims quote? I don't kin anything, I'm 32. That's me. I'm not 32. So that's me. I don't kin anything on account of how I grew up on 2015 Tumblr. Okay? And that word meant something very different. We did not just throw that around. Now, and I'm a grown-up, okay? I don't kin anything. That being said, there is a little part of my brain that lights up every single time it sees Zagreus and goes, that's me! I care him so deeply. But I couldn't handle Zagreus. I know that. I could not handle a consistent, steady relationship with Zagreus. I really couldn't do it. But am I going to give him a little smooch? Yes, I am. Already one of my more controversial picks. I'm going to be honest. Zagreus is so dateable. He really is. I couldn't handle all that. Brings us to our second protagonist, Melinoe. Melinoe is so pretty. Melinoe is so determined. She's wonderful. She's really focused on her job. I just feel like she would ignore me for her jobs a couple too many times, and it would really hurt my feelings. Like, I get it. Her job is really important. Death to Kronos. Yes, queen. But it would make me sad. Would I smooch her, though? Yes, I would. Now that I've put both protagonists into one tier, and I haven't explained any of the other ones, we'll get into another one as we talk about the canon romanceable NPCs. These two have a lot of love to give, and a lot of polycules to form. Nemesis. She is the incarnation of justice and retribution. She's 9 feet tall and built like a brick. And she likes to make wagers to prove that she's big and strong. I would climb Nemesis like a tree. I love Nemesis. She is the first person that I made Melinoe smooch in Hades 2. Just felt right. The second person I made Melinoway smooch in Hades 2 was Moros. Moros is Doom incarnate. He shows up every time one of his sisters, the Fates, have a prophecy that says somebody is going to meet a terrible, terrible, terrible end. They get to see Moros right before they die? I'm jealous. He's got pretty antlers, okay? What do you want? What do you want from me? That's my girlfriend. Melinoway can also get into some more troubled relationships, such as with Eris. Eris is Strife incarnate. There's a lot of incarnates. There's a lot of children of Nyx. Nyx is Night incarnate. She is pure darkness and beauty and grace, and she has so many kids. Nemesis, Moros, and Eris, all children of hers. Eris has beautiful wings. Eris has a gun that she likes to use to win fights against Melinoway. It took me so many tries to get past her beach. Eris is buff with a buzz cut and an attitude. And while I don't think her and I would actually get along, I do think we would be in a deeply toxic homoerotic situationship. I made the pictures too big for the whiteboard. Again, 9 is too many categories, and I wanted to see my guys properly zoomed in. So, a lot of it's going to look like this. Sorry. We can keep talking about all of Nyx's many, many children to talk about Thanatos. Thanatos' death. Peaceful death, though. More warring, violent deaths, those go to Ares. Thanatos goes and gathers up everybody who just passes away, fades away. The last thing they ever get to see is Thanatos. Thanatos is super awkward and kind of stoic, and I feel like he never knows what to do with his hands, so he always stands really, really very still, because you can't go wrong with that. He and Zagreus, because he's one of Zagreus' romances, are so good. They're so good, and actually Thanatos and I are married. If you're trying to argue I can't be married to Thanatos because you're also married to Thanatos and so is Zagreus, that's fine. We can all be married to Thanatos. Mel's last romance is Icarus, and I personally have a really normal relationship with the myth of Icarus. A really, really regular one. I find his story the right amount of compelling. The same as everybody else, I bet. And this Icarus is a real sweetheart. Icarus is the only one of the romanceable characters that is actively pursuing the main character. He wants to kiss Melinoway so badly. He wants to kiss Melinoway at a sunset with the waves in the distance. He wants to settle down domestically with that living weapon so badly. And I think he should get to. But if Melinoway is not interested, that is also my girlfriend. You know who else is my girlfriend? Megara. Megara, first of the Furies, punisher of evil, one-winged lady who walks around with a whip on her hip at all times. Her voice is so good. And that is my girlfriend. We've talked about some of the children of Nyx that are going to go up here. Not all of them. Don't worry. She has a lot. So I wanted to put Nyx on the board right away as well. And Nyx is actually my dad. Many of the characters are actually my dad. One of them is Nyx. I look at Nyx and go, oh my god, it's my dad. Is Nyx objectively one of the prettiest characters in the game? Yes. Yes, she is so pretty. I couldn't tell you how many things I would sacrifice if I could just be a direct copy of Nyx Hades game. But I'm not going to smooch her. That's my dad. Persephone is also my dad. If we want to talk about parental figures that live in the house of Hades. Persephone is my dad, which works out really nicely because her and Nyx are in love. Unsubtly, they are together. Persephone is very sweet in these games. She's kind of the objective of the first one, is to get her where she is hiding out with a little cottage on the surface, bring her back down to the underworld where she can finally meet her son Zagreus and reconnect with Hades and also with Nyx. And she's so lovely. She's so excited to be a parent, even though Zagreus is fully grown by the time they meet. And she does not get to raise Melinoway. It really hurts my heart. Hades game is the primary antagonist of the video game Hades. And also, I get it. Is Hades my dad? No, he's not. But is he 9 feet tall and built like a brick? Yes, he is. And while Hades is terrible to his son Zagreus in all his grief, once he gets Persephone back, he does try to atone. I don't think he and Zagreus are ever going to have a good relationship. I think that will always be complicated. But Hades too went, what if he was a girl dad? And god damn it, what if he was girl dad? I get it. Not necessarily for me, but he might be for you. On the theme of parental figures that our protagonists live with, I've got Hecate, who is also my dad, yeah. I didn't expect that was going to be my relationship with Hecate when I was first introduced to the character, who's in a giant witch hat, billowy fabric, and has her full 8-pack abs exposed to the night air. But that is my dad, and she has all of the faults and failings and emotional constipation of a real Midwestern father. That's my dad for real. This video is not about the story and epilogues and endings of writing of Hades 2. It is not about the story of Hades 2. And if I think about Hecate's story for too long, I'm gonna get really mad. So we'll move on to another one of my dads. Chaos is my dad. Chaos is such an interesting figure in the Hades games because you have to choose to interact with them by taking physical damage to your character, not to you, the human, obviously, but to you, the Zagreus or Malinoe. You have to take damage to descend into a mystical pit to have Chaos punish you before giving you an incredible boon, and also treat you like you're a weird little guinea pig experiment. And I think that's fine. I think Chaos is allowed to do that because that's my dad. That's my dad. That's my dad with one of the best glow-ups between games, by the way. The Hades 2 art goes crazy for Chaos. I know I said I wasn't going to go tier by tier, but I do just want to get another one of my dads out of the way, and that's Homer. Hey, Haley, that does not look like the art style of the rest of the game. It's not. Homer's the narrator. He has no physical form in the game. He just talks to our protagonists as they go throughout their journeys, and they can hear him. They do respond to him. He likes Malinoe a lot more than he likes Zagreus. Man's pretty neutral on Zagreus, and then anytime Malinoe finishes a task, you hear Homer in the background going, "The beautiful princess of the underworld is undefeatable and could never be stopped, the strongest ever." Girl dad. We're moving on to friendly characters that live with our protagonists in either the House of Hades for Zagreus or the Crossroads for Malinoe. Hypnos is my best friend. This is my best friend. I did not like Hypnos through most of my first playthrough of Hades. I've played Hades multiple times. I didn't like Hypnos through most of that first playthrough. And then he called Zagreus his best friend, and my entire perspective of him shifted. Everything I thought I understood about him as a character, I went, oh no. Oh no. This is one of the most misunderstood little weirdos in the entire underworld. Everyone is always getting on his case for being sleepy. This is the god of sleep. He's the god of sleep. It is not his fault. He is a little bit sleepy. That's his job. And I don't want to kiss him about it. But that is my best friend. Let's talk about another character that I thought was deeply annoying when I first met them, who I then came to be far too attached to, Orpheus. And I went in thinking I was going to love Orpheus from first meeting because I love the character of Orpheus in myth. I love Hadestown, the Broadway sensation. This Orpheus threw me off a little bit. He is Orpheus post losing Eurydice and now serving the god that made him lose Eurydice for many, many years. So like, yeah, he's a little sad and weird. And that's okay, that's his right. And then I got to know him a little bit more, and his sadness and weirdness charmed me deeply as soon as I got used to his voice sounding like that. I'm gonna smooch him about it. Even if it's just a little forehead smooch. I think maybe it would help him feel a little better. I have another controversial opinion. I don't like Dusa very much. Dusa is the disembodied head of a gorgon, a Medusa, colloquially. And she's the cleaning lady for the House of Hades. Her and Zagreus have an interesting and very nuanced relationship. It is not romantic. It is just very close and dear friends. There's a level of like devotion to it. That's interesting. That's fine. Her voice is so annoying and I never came around to it. I don't find her interesting enough to cancel out how much I didn't like hearing her speak. And I'm so sorry. I feel really bad about it. I cannot believe she's the first one in the no thank you category. It's a respectful no thank you. The thing about the no thank you category is that it is a range, right? Because for Dusa, it's like, no thank you. You know, you're great. I just don't want to hang out with you. I'm sorry. I also don't want to hang out with Skelly, the skeleton who's also the training dummy for both Zagreus and Malinois. His job is to stand in the training grounds and encourage the children to beat him up as much and as hard as they can. And his energy is very unsettling. Ooh, but you know who I like very much? You know who I like very, very much? It's Achilles. That's my dad. That's my dad. This is my dad. Before I came around to Hades, who I did also have to really come around to, I was running up to Achilles as Zagreus, first thing at the end of every run, going, dad, 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 dad. Dad, guess what I did? He's Zagreus' mentor. He taught Zag how to fight. He's pretty emotionally open for being in the position that he is in. He's a guard in the House of Hades. He is guarding a hallway that nobody goes in. He could be replaced by a sexy lamp, and nothing would change. Achilles is here in the House of Hades instead of in the exalted fields of Elysium, because when he arrived to the Underworld, he discovered that his lover, Patroclus, was sent to the fields of Asphodel instead of Elysium, which he believed was an insult to Patroclus, because Elysium is for, the most blessed, wonderful warriors. Asphodel is just kind of for, whoever. And he said, well, that is not where my Patroclus ends up. Thank you. He can have my spot. He can have my spot in Elysium because he's earned it. And then Achilles makes that trade by going to serve the House of Hades and become my dad. It is a little bit complicated that he is my dad because Patroclus and I are wed. I love Patroclus so much. I love him so much. And I'm sure part of that is that in game, he's in Hades 1, Zagreus meets him pretty far into the run. He's sometimes hurting pretty bad. And you can run up to Patroclus and you can say, hey, do you want the best buff in the whole game? Yes! But also he is so pretty. He is the #1 yearner in the entire Underworld. He's perfect to me. His voice is gorgeous. His face is gorgeous. He doesn't do anything wrong because he just sits down. Back to guys who live in the main character's house, we've got Dora. She is a shade, a ghost that lives in the crossroads with Malinois. They are friends. She becomes the one in charge of decorating the entire crossroads because she needed something to do, I guess. And she's very silly. She's very silly, very goofy. She's very apathetic. She tries her hand out at haunting and being like a proper ghost, but it's mostly just as something to do and to lighten the mood around here. I like Dora just fine. If Dora is for you, I get it. Wee woo, controversial opinion. I think Odysseus is he's okay. I think he's okay. He kind of fills in the Achilles role for Malinois in the sense that he's there and he gives out a little bit of strategy. And maybe it's just the way that I played it. But every time that I went up to Odysseus after a run through the Underworld, he gave me advice that I had figured out 3 or 4 runs ago. Every single time. And it did always make it feel a little bit like he was making fun of me. But sometimes he does just give Malinois $20 and tell her to have a good day. So that is nice. I get it. He's fine. I don't have a lot of feelings about him in any direction, unfortunately. This is the part of the video where I start ranking gods of the Greek pantheon. And I'm going to just say, for any of my witchy girlies out there, I am only ranking and making statements about the Greek gods as they are represented in the game franchise of Hades. Okay? I'm not saying anything about the gods in any other incarnation or representations. And in this one, I would like Zeus to stay far away from me. He just has such an air of obliviousness, and it is not charming on him. Not at all. He is in contrast to Poseidon, who is deeply oblivious, but in a way I find very charming, actually. This is my dad. Hera, queen of Olympus and wife of Zeus, goddess, who presides over things like marriage and family. is added to my pile of toxic homoerotic situations. She's just so mad all the time. She's so mad all the time. She hates the concept of children. She hates that she has any children. She hates that Zeus has many children. She's a little condescending. She's pretty rude, pretty patronizing, gives incredible help to Malinois. She's affable enough when you enter her house. We're gonna have a terrible time together. I don't want to have any kind of time with Demeter. Really don't. Demeter, goddess of seasons, mother of Persephone, in this franchise best known for plunging the entire world into an eternal winter because she's grieving the loss of her daughter, who she dead names many times in the game after learning that Persephone goes by Persephone now. It takes her a hot minute to get that one. Also, it takes her a hot minute to unfreeze the eternal winter. After she sees Persephone, starts talking to Persephone again, Persephone agrees to come visit her multiple months out of the year. And it still takes her a while to agree that maybe we don't need eternal winter up there. Hermes, messenger god of swiftness and thievery, namesake of my emotional support animal, who is currently snuggled up elsewhere, really does not want to be a part of this video. I asked. Hermes is so cute, so pretty, speaks very, very quickly, calls you boss. And I love that. This is my girlfriend. Aphrodite's being added to the toxic homoerotic situationship. The way that she tries to pick apart and analyze other people's relationships, she would be perfect for this awful time we're creating. Dionysus, god of wine and revelry, that's my best friend. Even the version of him in Hades 2, after he got a lobotomy, I think I really can't even be that mad that he appears to have had his entire brain removed in the sequel because he's so happy. Dionysus is deeply fun, and honestly, the portrayal of him in Hades 2, where he stands around having a feast with all of his satyr friends and a jaguar that he just has, almost entirely unclothed, completely unbothered while his entire family is under siege. That's my best friend. Artemis propositions Malinois near the end of the game, or at the end of the game, you know, after all the plot stuff is over, propositions Malinois, says that she'll see if Callisto is interested in sharing. And Malinois acts all appalled and says no, because Malinois is very silly. This is my girlfriend. Hephaestus, or if you're my friend who plays a lot of Hades but doesn't know anything about Greek mythology, Asbestos. He makes a lot of weapons. Husband to Aphrodite. He is a wheelchair user in the representation of this game. He is pretty distant from the rest of his family. He doesn't show up in the first game at all. He is just in the second one, just to be super helpful and give you the best boons of the game, and I will stand by that. He calls Malinois witchy. I think it's cute. This is my best friend. I'm climbing Athena like a tree. The way she drops out of the sky in Hades 2, slams into the ground and kills every enemy in a mile radius, in a full suit of armor. I'm gonna climb that like a tree. I'm very upset with her for what she did to my Arachne, who we haven't gotten to yet, but I would. My shining light, my beautiful boy, my Apollo. Listen, I don't think it should surprise anyone that I had a little bit of a Percy Jackson phase as a kid. And my godly parent was Apollo. This Apollo, he's getting a little smooch. He's so cute. And he calls Mel Sunshine. I think it might just be because that I have such a visceral reaction to men implying that they are good at or would like to pursue violence. But Ares is only going in the I get it category. I get it. Selene, goddess of the moon. She's only in Hades 2. She's very close to Malinois. She rides a beautiful white horse and is generally just a lovely lady. a lovely lady. She shows up to be helpful. Sometimes she shows up at your house just to be around, to let you know she's always here for you. That's my dad. I forgot to print a picture for Hestia. Listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't have a printer. And I already printed everybody else out. And it would be like a whole thing to go print something else. So this Hestia, goddess of the hearth, goddess of flame, delightful old lady in her portrayal in this game. I'm smooching her on the head. Right at the top of her fiery little head, I'm giving her a little smooch. I now move from the gods who give the main characters their wonderful, beautiful, godly boons to the characters who you come across that are friendly in other ways. Like Boldy. Can you talk to Boldy? Yeah. He's not gonna answer because of how he's a rock. But you can talk to him. Can you give Boldy presents? Yeah. And giving Boldy a present will empower you in a small, random way every time. Because this rock believes in your ability to complete your task. You believe in Boldy, and Boldy believes in you. This is my best friend. Sisyphus, though, I could take or leave. He's fine. The real thing about Sisyphus is he was mean to my wife Thanatos up there. That's why he's pushing Boldy forever. And so if that's not a deal breaker for you, I could get it. For me, we'll keep him down in the I get it. Eurydice! Eurydice is so lovely. She's a nymph. She is styled as a plant. She's beautiful. She sings so lovelily. And every time you come across her in game, she cooks you a meal, calls you hun, and sends you on your way. This is my dad. This is my dad. I see her as a very parental figure. Orpheus is not my dad. Eurydice is my dad. She's got some of the best energy and attitude of really any of the characters, certainly any of the gods. Circe of the Odyssey fame turns men into pigs. Witch who specializes in transformation, helps Malinoe out quite a bit, gives her boons such as the word of greater girth. Why did you call it that? I'm putting Circe down in the no thank you. Because for some reason, she's like the one character I just cannot separate from her myth and what she was like. And also, her body is strange. She's like a beach ball. Her lower half, she kind of bounces around on an orb. Like that robot from Robots. The one with the circle one. Charon, the boatman, the ferryman on the river Styx, he who takes the souls down into the underworld. He is in both games. He runs a little shop where you can buy extra little trinkets and boons and things. He is my best friend. He's my best friend. Charon doesn't talk. He just sort of moans and groans and hers and ahs. But there's a mechanic in game where you give nectar and then ambrosia to characters to make them like you more. And my first playthrough of Hades, I gave all of it to Charon immediately. I was giving Charon ambrosia before I knew what that did. I had gotten my first ever bottle of ambrosia, and it immediately went to Charon, and I went, oh, wait, was that special? Did I need that for something? I didn't. It was fine, but I didn't even think about it. I just went, whatever Charon wants, Charon gets. That was my first best friend. Echo, Echo, Echo. She is in Hades too. She's a little nymph made of rocks, where Eurydice is a nymph that is plants. Echo is nymph of rocks. Just very sweet. She's just very sweet and helpful and inoffensive. And I do want to give her a little smooch right on the tippy toppest rock on her pile. I want to brighten her day just a little. Once again, this is not a video about the writing of the character endings of the video game Hades 2, but if it was Narcissus, he's a beautiful flower. Narcissus is eternally leaned over a pool of water, enjoying his own reflection, surrounded by suitors that he is not interested in because he was cursed to only ever love himself. All of the characters you can give nectar to. They give you a little keepsake that can help you along the way. His quite literally has aromantic in the name, and he's constantly telling you he's not into you like that. He's my best friend. Oh, we're not talking about the writing or the character endings in Hades 2, but if we were. Arachne is my wife. This is my little spider wife. She sits on a web and she weaves me beautiful dresses, and this is my wife. I love her so much. She is this big and has so many hopes and dreams. She's gonna open her own store, and she stands up for herself, and she doesn't let anybody push her around. She knows who she is. I love her. The next two characters are in a category that I call troubled relationships, starting with Heracles. He will help you out, and then shortly after, he will beat you to death with a club. Heracles wears most of a lion on his body and tries very hard to be helpful while being so stoic and repressed and angry and bitter. And I would climb him like a tree. I'm not climbing Lady Medea, who's a witch. She is joining the toxic homoerotic situationship pile, because what she does is stand around a cauldron and brew up curses and curse everyone who's ever wronged her. She has multiple lists of people who've betrayed her on a scale of how bad the betrayal. She got lists of minor betrayals and lists of major betrayals, and she brews the curses as such. And when Mel is like, what are you going to do when everybody's cursed? She's like, don't fucking ask me that. Whoa, hey, I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm just cursing everybody. And she does help Mel, and shortly after she helps Mel, she tries to poison Mel to death with a big cyclops. So the next and final category of character is just the straight up antagonists. Just the guys that you fight. That is the entirety of your relationship to them. Starting with the big bad of Hades 2, Death to Kronos. Get him away from me. And this is not a video about the story and character endings of Hades 2. But if it was. I also do not want to hang out with Typhon, father of all monsters. He has hundreds, thousands, maybe millions of children, and he is present for none of them. It's a bad luck. Prometheus, titan of foresight, man who brought fire to humanity, even though it cost him an eternity of getting his liver eaten by this eagle. Him and the eagle are cool now. In the game, they're friends. He speaks in weird, ominous riddles the way that many characters with future sight often do. I knew this was coming. You have no idea what you're walking into. That's Prometheus. There was so much opportunity with this character. He's such a sympathetic figure. He brought fire to humanity, objectively an amazing thing for all of mortal kind, and was punished for it violently and gruesomely for eternity. And now that he's broken out of those chains and is rebelling against the gods that put him there, all you can do is beat him to death? Why? Anyway, this is my girlfriend. I'm giving him a smooch. I'm helping him raise that eagle. I'm moving into the weird shrine dais thing that he lives on. I'm gonna make it pretty. I'm gonna add a couch. Polyphemus, Cyclops of the Odyssey fame. He has no eyes, actually. He used to, I guess he's still a Cyclops because that's what you call him. But instead of having one eye, he's got no eyes because of how Odysseus took his out back in the Odyssey. All you do with him is fight him, and mostly what he talks about is eating you and also eating sheep and also eating everybody else. He is like 25 feet tall and has a nice voice and a very interesting design. So, like, I get it, but woo, controversial. I don't want Scylla anywhere near me. Scylla and the Sirens, they do a whole band thing. She's the singer. Jetty is on guitar and Roxy's on drums. And they kill you to death with their music. And the music is good. The music is so catchy. It pisses me off how catchy it is, okay? And if I was hanging out with her, all she would ever be doing was singing the songs. She's very dedicated to her craft. And I can't live like that. I already I'm gonna cloud your eyes and drown you to death in my head over and 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 over again. Imagine if she was there singing it next to me all the time. I am gonna cloud your eyes and drown it. I do want to give Tisiphone a little smooch. Tisiphone is one of Megara's sisters. She is the fury that specifically punishes murderers, and all she can say is murder. But eventually, she does also learn how to say Zagreus, because Zagreus is very determined at trying to teach her, and it is implied, if not stated, that Meg has tried to teach her other words before and they've never quite stuck. So I think it's the fact that Zagreus' lessons come with the immediate reward of getting to do great violence. And that's why she learned how to say Zagreus. I like her. I like her gaunt, skeletal little face. I like that she worked really, really hard to learn how to say a second word. I think she has a lot of potential. And I think maybe if somebody gave her a little smooch, she would be happier and more open to community. The third of the Furies, sister to Megara and Tisiphone, is Alecto. Alecto is so mean. She's so mean. She's got saw blades that she sends out across the arena, and she calls Zagreus Red Blood and gets so excited to spill blood everywhere. She's like really, really sadistic and mean and awful. And would. I think it is her aesthetic mixed with her confidence, mixed with knowing that we could do it like once and then it literally would never come up again. And she wouldn't be weird about it and I wouldn't be weird about it. And it'd be fine. Would not. I need Theseus far away from me. I need him so far away from me. Theseus shows up to try and defeat Zagreus in battle, in exhibition for all of the shades of Elysium, and he calls him demon and implies that he's useless garbage who's no good in a fight because nobody could be better than Theseus, king of Athens. I hate him. I hate him really, really bad. I hate him. I hate that he gets boons from the other Olympians. Like, that's my uncle. Why is he helping you beat me up? What do you have on him? Simply would love to see him torn apart into many pieces in the Colosseum floor, which is complicated because his best and only friend is my girlfriend. I love Asterius. All that Asterius does is show up to beat you up, sometimes one-on-one, sometimes with Theseus as a little sort of 2-on-1 really fair fight. But he's like nice and respectful about it. And like he knows that there's hidden depths to you and he recognizes the complexities of your struggle. And then kills you with his big axe. So there you have it. My ranking tier list of every character in the Hades franchise. There's a lot more no thank yous, and so that's my dad than a lot of you probably expected. But what can I say? A lot of them are my dad. But don't worry, I still have a lot of best friends, a lot of trees to climb, a lot of people I am never going to want to see again, and a lot of folks that I'm smooching on the regs in various capacities. And really, what else does one need to be happy when you think about it? Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go lay in bed and play Hades 2 for probably another 4 to 5 hours straight. I have to defeat my brother in ritual combat, but he keeps not offering me the chance. Thank you so much for joining me for my incredibly accurate rankings of Hades 2 characters. Everybody agrees with all of my rankings. Don't look at the board behind me where a friend of mine literally rearranged all my choices to match their personal preferences. If you heard me say over and over again in this video that this particular video is not about my gripes with the writing and story of Hades 2 and you thought to yourself, actually, I would love to hear you talk for way too long about your gripes with the writing and the story of Hades 2, I have just the video for you, and it is the November monthly video over on my Patreon, patreon.com/Haley Whipjack. That's my name. And the story doesn't engage with that like it is a problem for her to solve. It's just like, well, that's how it is. Things are the way they are, and that's how it has to be. And that's good. No. If you're there, you'll also get every video like this a week early, as well as sneak peeks and previews of everything that I've got coming up. And the catalog of a couple years worth of monthly extra videos I've done at this point. I, of course, want to take this moment to thank my patrons, all of my beautiful, wonderful, mythical, magical, mystical, magical, even patrons. This means it is time for everybody's favorite game. How many names can Haley say in a row before they fuck it up irrevocably? Here we go. Patrons such as Alcyon Hero, Ulsa Dragon, Artemis Nyx, Autumn Vector, Blar Dihar, Britty, Chatty C, Hippie, Jesus, Huffle, Catherine, Kazrin, Christopher, Missy May, Nico, Fitz, Rainbow O'Neill, Rue, Shiraz, Steph Delacour, Vesper Sinclair, Z-Series, Zachary Fly, Zebby Lown. T. Abalab, Abby V, Abby K, Abagaya, Abigail the Baker, Addie, Agumame, Aiden Cassis, the stronger Aiden So Wood, notoriously low roller, Amy E, Ain, Ainsel Pixel, Ainsley Geary, AJ Holian, Akaduroku, A.L., Albondi Gyoza, Alex Moore, Allison, Alex, Ali the Librarian, Alt Jess, Alyssa Pearl, Amalia, Amanda Nicole, Amber W, Ams, a name, surname, Anamoni, Anastasia, Annika Chanchani, Anna Elise, Anna, Anthony Brantley, Annie Teller, Aoife, Applejacks, Aradia Kelstar, Archie Architang, Argentum Inc., Ariadne, Asher Ackman, Ashley Figura, Ashley Peterson, Ashton Tillier, Aston Zadurko, Audra Fulkerson, Audrey Mouse, August Adent, Aurelium, Aurora Ender, Autumnal Cleric, Avery Little, Aziz, Azula's Tale, Azure, Babbity Kate, Bada Kid, Bailey Wind, Barg Hest 279, Barto Hawk 764, Basil, B Crime, Do Gay, Beard Acknowledge, Becca B, Beck B, Benny Babe, Benjamin Falter, Benny and the Tops, Bethany Draws Art, Bibble, Bill Pike, Black Rabbit 10, Blaze Stewart, Blake Stewart, Blaze. I just mixed you into one guy for a second. That's my bad. Blueberry Boy, Bobby Banner, Box of Cherubs, Bree, Brenna, Brian Drake, Bridget Quinlivan, Bracerius, Broken Fork, Brianna, Bryn Osborne, Buckets, Burn Notice, 2007, Burnt Toast, Caleb, Cam Achu, Camden Clem, Cammy, Kendorian Wonder, Captain Luppy, Captain Twizzler, Carly Hartle, Caroline Odin, Kara Ray, Cass Rogers, Cass Carter, Casey Charlton, Casper Hope Tyndall, Cat in a Skin Suit, Catherine Mullen, Celadon Cerulia, Chaotic Kiwi, Chelsea Souter, Cherubel Hart, Cheryl, Chloe Bailey, Chronic Escapee, Claire C, Clara Caboozle, Clement Slime, Clever Name, Connor Virgilius Murphy, Copper Kettle, Coraline, Corey Pup, Corey Cat, Courtney P, Kuste, Cress Moon, Cricket Vincent, Crow Mori, Cup of Stee, Cutie Mimi, Daba D, Daba Die, Dakota K, Dakota L, Damian Miller, Dan, Danny B, Danny Sprague, Danielle Cutler Ori, Danielle Tefke, Danny, Dante Rizzuto, David Stoppel, Dear Lady Disdain, Decayed Robot in a Green Field, Declan Ruth, Deals, Devin Camerlocker, Digimaniac 33, Ditto, Dian Dumbass, Draco Knight, Dracomus Via Fugdraga, Drake, Ed Slushy, Eden Cassidy, Eel, spelled backwards, Elijah Jackson, Ellie Bear, Ellis, Ellie, Emily Fields, Emily Songer, Emma S, Emma Thomas, and me, Emoji Bones, N, Nom, Ender Art, Erica Lynn, Eskel, Evan Kinsella, Evan Linden, Faye Fire, Fenestrating Fungi, Florence Tarnas, Foolery with Nori, Frank, Fraser King, Fresh, Hex, Flex, Frizazzle Zoozle, Fudgeman 77, Finch R, Gabe, Gabby Gay, Gabriel Lairbag, Gay Hem, Geominis, Geominis. I've said that one so many times, I don't think I've ever settled on a pronunciation. Geominis, Gil the Gilded Dragon, Gilgamesh, Godzilla Food, Good Soft Gay, Good Night Burrito, Gracie No-Nos, Grey Hawk, Gray into Green, Grayson, Green Walker, Gray Does Things and Stuff, Grimbus, Grolnuck, Gumbles, Gungilf, Hakuna Machete, Hale, Haley Walker, Handsome Penguin, Hannah Bell, Hannah Anderson, Hannah Jeffrey, Hannikin Skywalker, Hey Pax Legomenon, Harley, Harper Hex, Hoster, Head Full of Birds, Hart, Heidi Wilson, Helena Young, Heliotrope Fox, Hey, it's Jay, Holly May, Houston Littlejohn, I Can Make You Say, whatever I want. I ship Genfix, I Will Sing No Requiem, Ian Roberts, I Dizzle 22, Infinity Girl, Insane in the Brain, Isby, Izzy Valderrama, It's a Secret, JJ, Johnman02, Jackie, Jaden Alex, James Jackson, James Quinn, James Summers, Jamie M, Jasmine, JTP, Jane, Jeff, Jenna Murray, Jenny Waboom, Jericho, Jessica Stormwind, Jester of the Rat Court, Jet, G-Dem, Joe, Jonah Levin, Jordan Islis, Josephine Ryder, Josh the DM, Joshua Caliendo, Jubilee, Jubilina, Bing Bing, Juliana Backer, Julie Stonky, John Navarre, Caden McLean, Kavo Conrad, Kakasu Wolf, Callie Rivers, Carissa, Catherine Hill, Katie Larrabee, Kayla B, Kaylee, Keats Rowe, Kelsey Rodriguez, Kenny, Kenzie Sorrells, Kirby.J, Peg, Kevin McNamara, Keverlyn C, Key, Zero, Kim S, King Cozy, King Panda, Kieran and Frankie Cat, Kitty Large Paws, Cool Cat, Chrissy DeHaas, Kioki, Kyle Richardson, Kylie, Lady Jessica, Laura, Lauren and Daisy, Lawson, Leaf Lemon, Lee, Legos Jedi, Leith H, Lemons, Lemon M, Lemon, Leonix, Levi, Lexi Scott, Lee, Liam Fahy, Libby, Lillian, Lily Wilson, Lindsay, Lisa Spitalowitz. Spitalowitz. Izzy Gale, Logan, Lord Smeldington III, Lou is a shoe, Love Music. Luke Mannix, Lynn May, Maddie, Maggie Brown, Magic Quill 42, Mag Twisera, Maya Faranas, Malachi Sanguis, Manny S, Mariah Ray, Marianne, Marie, Martha, Mary Mac, Mary R, Matt Dam, Matt Mobes, Maveline, Max Roth, Meatball Cat, Meg Mel, Mia, Micah, Michael Francis, Michael West, Mick, Michaela Phillips, Millie Me, Mimi, Mindless Nonsense, Minnie's Mayhem, Mira 9404, Mitchum Ditchum, MLD Irish 14, Most Spooky, Molly McDade, Munev 94, Moon Noodles, Morgan Hansen, Mostly, Void Shadows, MPC3, Mr. Top Hatter, Murph Wazir, Nathan Mathewson, Newton Thorne, Nick C, Nick the Brick, Nikki Zerd, Nicole Danielle Cresswell, Nicole Key, Noah, Non-Existent Mountains Theory, Of Faye, OKCC Art, Alethea, Ami Gracie, Onyx Claw, The Archdruid, Oren T, Orion Constellation, Oski the Bard, Owen Klein, Oswin H, P, Paige Alexander, Papa Midnight, Penny Douglas, Petal Stripe, Pete Alexander, Philip Dameron, Fix, Phoenix the Frog, Piper Porter, Pluto, Pobledo, Poetic Cinema, Prettiest, Bearded Lady, Psych Bunny, Quince Hopkins, Quinn Rice, Quinvalid, Ray Zellburst and Frame, Rat Scratch, Razan, Rays from Ash, Rebecca Dawn, Redsum, Reed Brody, Ricky Isn't Watching, Robin, Roman Landslide, Roman Hierarchy, Rookie Baby, Rowan C, Rowan Rose, Rat King, Ruby King Dollar, Rhino, Sabrina Hawthorne, Sage Angel, Sagely Sapphic, Sam Stapowski, Samantha A, Samantha Fisher, Samantha Joe, Samara Kingston, Samson, Sarah Short, Sarah Ann, Sarah Clark, Sarah Greer, Sarah Sunshine, Sarah, Scam Likely, Scariest, Bird, Sean Ryland, CB, Sarah Vale, Shibuya Gato, Side Sore, Silly Juice, Simon Says, Site 42, Skylar Grayson, Sophilophosaurus, Solo Dolo, Sophie Hasha, Space Battery, Spartan Warrior, Spapples, Spooky Noodle, Slewisk, Stand Up Domedy, Steen, Steps of the Palace, Stevie Meyer Whaley, Stevie U, Street Cleaner, Summer Zernowski, Sunbell, Sunny Solstice, Supercalifragilistic Existential Crisis, Severe E, Sydney Hobson, Silas S, TJ, Taylor Burke, Techno Agus, T, Text the Gentle Giant, That Boy Eats Rats, the Arsonist of Arland, the Robin's Wayne, the Silliest Apollo, the Wizard C, the Wizard Sober, the Dog Walker 247, the Month of April, Theodore Lawrence, the Smart Turnip, Thomas Guzzo, Tiffany V, Tim, TJ Dash, Toby Springer, Tommy Peterson, Trin Lise Anderson, AAA, He, They, Trizadale, True Shrike, Useless Lesbian, Val Hallen, Vanessa Johnson, Vanillin Zucker, Victoria Faye, Via Name, Virgil's Inferno, Vivian James, V Sharp, Funks, Wes, Wild Red Mutt, Will Turner, William D, William McCafferty, William Scott, Windermere Peaks, Woody Daniel, Ren Bunce, Ren Cloud, Showtime, Yara Letitia, Yes, Chef, Ngve Leah, Zachary Wayman, Zane Zaflorticus, Sawara, Zoe, and Zorluke, as well as every other name you have seen scrolling past. Thank you again so much for watching. I can't wait to take you along for the next one. I'll see you next time. My most controversial take about the romances in Hades 2. I'm going to give it to you right here, right now. Person who stayed to the very end of the video. Are you ready for it? I actually think it might... Okay, so... Yes. Thank you, Supergiant Games, for inventing bisexuality. But have you noticed that every single male love interest is very, sweet, a little stoic, awkward, non-violent in most cases? You could say Than is a little violent. He does fights, but let's compare him to his counterpart, shall we? And all of the female love interests are big and strong and muscled and mean to you. And I'm not saying there's not room in this world for women that are big and strong and mean to you and men that would gladly be your wife. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I'd like a little variety. That's what I'm saying. I'd like a little variety. I'd like a little spice. I would like something beyond the absolute safest way to engage in. It's not a trope of bisexuality specific. Well, kind of it is, isn't it? Submissive little men and big, strong ladies. It's a weirdly safe choice for the specific audience that they're in. I want some variety. Let me kiss the sweet little spider that's nice to me and likes me. Maybe I want to kiss a man that's mean to me sometimes in fiction. It's empowering or whatever. That's my most controversial take, by the way. I've saved it for you. I think Supergiant Games went too wokely bisexual with the tropes of their